The Hougang Central GLS land plot has finally launched for developer tender. I've got the tender specifications here. The land plot is described as an integrated transport hub set to be a landmark development located in the heart of Hougang. Here's a timeline of events. Back in October 2024, an article was published in the press for a mixed-use complex to be built above Hougang MRT station. And that's the Hougang Central GLS land site that is a commercial and residential plot. It can yield around 835 units and with around 40,000 square meters of commercial space. There were also two more land plots highlighted. This plot that houses the current Hougang Central bus interchange, it can yield around 800 flats or 1,000 condo units. And the third plot here bounded by Hougang Avenue 4 that can yield around 1,200 flats or around 1,550 condo units. There's actually quite a few more land plots in the area for development, but I'll talk about those in a while. In December 2024, the Hougang Central plot was announced as part of the first half 2025 GLS program, and on the 29th May 2025, the land plot was launched for developer tender. The tender is set to close on the 16th December 2025, and with that, we will know the land bid price and hence the estimate for the project break-even price. Following that, my estimate is about a typical 1-year preparation period, which will see the preview and sales launch in around first half 2027. And by the way, details such as the project name, floor plans and prices are only available much nearer to the preview. To give you a taste of how the preview works, it typically runs only for 10 days, during which buyers can visit the show flat and if keen can submit an expression of interest. Registered buyers are then balloted and will hit for the booking day in their balloted sequence to make a purchase. And following that, the show flat reopens for walk-in purchases. And as for how the price release works, typically just 1 or 2 days before the preview starts, there will be a press release with details on the starting prices per unit type. Here's an example of the most recent integrated project launch, Parktown Residence. The press release published on the 6th of February 2025, just 1 day before the commencement of the preview on the 7th of February. The press release here sharing details of 1-bedroom unit starting from 1.07 million, 2-bedrooms starting from 1.33 million, and all the way to 4-bedrooms starting from 2.85 million. As for the full set of unit prices at launch, only made available to registered buyers in the balloting queue on the booking day itself. Now we'll dive into the technical specifications, but as a disclaimer, these are only the details at this current tender stage. The final way that things will look is still down to the winning developer and is subject to change. The land plot is bounded by Hougang Avenue 10 and Hougang Central, directly above Hougang MRT on the northeast line and the Cross Island line set to complete in 2030. So this is an aerial view of the land plot taken from the nearby block 521. In the distance, you can see that's Hougang Mall, the HDB branch office, Hougang MRT station on the northeast line, and some construction work going on the west part of the land plot, and that's for Hougang Station on the Cross Island line. By the way, earlier on I mentioned there were a lot more land parcels coming up. In this diagram from the tender specifications, besides the 3 land parcels that were already mentioned in the October press release, there are as many as 7 more land plots labeled as reserve site for future high-rise development. Now, some of these land sites are labeled as reserve site for future high-rise development and some labeled as site reserved for future high-rise residential development. So it could be a mixture of private housing, public housing, or maybe even commercial developments. But given the proximity of these land plots to residential areas, it is very likely that they will be residential developments. And that means for the main Hougang Central GLS land plot, a very clear first mover advantage. The site area is 46,800 square meters and can yield an estimated 835 residential units. It is a mixed-use development with commercial and residential integrated with a bus interchange and town plaza. Some other features of the development will include a supermarket, food court, F&B options in the town plaza, offices and other users subject to approval. For the commercial component, the ownership is to remain vested in one single owner at all times. The building is subject to a height control of 64 meters and that's about 19 stories. As for the structure of the land site, according to the control plan, the town plaza here near to Hougang Mall, bus interchange will be located on the first floor. The bus access points to the bus interchange located along Hougang Avenue 10 and Hougang Central. Access to the commercial component shall be along Hougang Avenue 10, with these positions being the entrance and the exit. Residents of the project will access here along Hougang Central Minor with a left-in, left-out arrangement. These are the proposed positions for pedestrian underground access to Hougang MRT Cross Island Line, an overhead bridge somewhere in this position between blocks 513 and 521 that will span across the drainage reserve and Hougang Avenue 10, connecting into the development, and a covered walkway that will run around the entire land site. So that's it for the Hougang Central site. More details in the links below. Any questions, drop me a note.